Abdullah Mason is a problem. At just 21 years old, he's taken the sport by storm. He just had another dominant victory this past Saturday against Carlos Ornelas, dropping him 3 times and ending the fight after 6 rounds. Now, Mason has been getting a lot of hype recently compared to other prospects, and I really just did not understand all this hype at first, because I have to admit I really wasn't watching his fights, but I was able to catch his last few fights, and I definitely understand the hype now. Looking at his resume, he's 18-0, 16 knockouts. During those 18 fights, hasn't had a fight that went past 6 rounds. Of course, now being a prospect, your type of competition, the people that you fight at first, is not going to be the best, but you can at least look at the skills and the potential that a fighter has. And with Abdullah Mason, he's very confident in what he does. He looks like really a complete fighter. A con that he does have maybe could be his counterpunching. He was definitely leaving himself open for some counterpunching, but that could just be him being comfortable, not used to fighters taking advantage of, Abdullah Mason maybe having his hands down, maybe swinging a bit wild from time to time and not getting caught, okay? Maybe Mason's just not used to that yet. But what I will say, okay, and that's really the only con I'm really noticing from Mason. And of course, getting counterpunch is a con for a lot of prospects. I suggest if he wants to really fight top tier fighters at lightweight, because lightweight's a division where they're skilled fighters, right? This isn't the heavyweight division, this isn't the cruiserweight division. You're at lightweight, you're going to face very skilled fighters. If you want to become champion, well, you really got to figure out ways to not get counterpunched. Now that's just really an overreaction, but that is the con. But with the pros, he has the power, he has the confidence, he walks you down, he's a very skilled, fast fighter. And being 5'9" with a 74-inch reach, that's really dangerous. I mean, we look at the other lightweight champions. I mean, Loma has like a 65-inch reach. Tank Davis has a 67-inch reach. Shakur Stevenson has a 68-inch reach. Being able to have a 74-inch reach, all right, being that young, you got to take advantage of that as well. You really got to have a good 1-2. If you have a 74-inch reach and you're not using that jab right, if you're not having a deadly right hand, there's a problem. So it's important that Mason and the team around him is really emphasizing that 1-2, taking advantage of that reach, keeping guys away. A guy like Shakur, right? Shakur's not going to try to walk you down. Shakur's going to stay away and be patient. But Gervonta Davis, he's going to pressure you. Lomachenko, he's going to pressure you. Keyshawn Davis, a bit of a mix, but he'll most likely pressure you. Before we continue with this video, I want to give a shout out to my sponsor, that's Hayabusa. I partnered with Hayabusa to give you guys 10% off when you go onto their website and use the code ALEXD, ALEXD, all caps. You get 10% off. I really appreciate it. Link is in the description. But just going back to the skills, a 74-inch reach, 21 years old, 5'9". Take advantage of that height. Take advantage of that build. Looking at the future for Abdullah Mason, he really has the build, a frame to really fight up to welterweight, super welterweight. But let's talk about right now, what could be next. He's calling for title shots. Might be too early. We have to also recognize that he's fighting under Top Rank. Top Rank's not going to be ruining future stars like Abdullah Mason. They're probably not going to pair him up against Keyshawn Davis, which would be a very easy fight to make, right? 2 top-ranked fighters. Same thing with Lomachenko, even though we don't know really what Lomachenko's doing, but he's calling for champions. Of course, every prospect that gets really past the 13, 14 wins, they start calling out champions. I think he could be a champion one day. I'm confident that he will be a champion one day. Could he beat guys like Keyshawn Davis? I don't think so. Could he beat Tank? No. Shakur? No. Lamont Roach? No. Lomachenko? No. But he keeps going. Give him 2 more fights against top 10 guys. All right, there's really no excuse for that. I know Top Rank likes to protect their stars, fine. Don't feed him to the wolves like Keyshawn Davis, Lomachenko yet. But have him fight top 10 guys, all right? He definitely got to do that because he's at that experience right now where he can really become champion. But don't ruin his career just giving him, journeyman, giving him tomato cans. Don't do that. So what's next? Give him 2 more fights with top 10 guys. Really feed him good competition. Top 10 guys is good competition, but is he ready for champion yet? No. I think the rest of the year, give him those top 10 guys, those 2 top 10 guys, and maybe by next year, he could be champion. And I definitely am confident that Mason could be a champion. He has all the skill set. Work on that counterpunching, fix up some things. He could be a champion next year. I can guarantee that. Assuming belts will be scattered. Who could he beat? Probably Keyshawn Davis. I don't think he'll beat Shakur Stevenson next year. I don't think he could beat Gervonta Davis. Lomachenko, we'll see what happens with him, right? But if he was to beat somebody in a year from now, it could be Keyshawn Davis. So let me know down in the comments, guys, what do you think of Abdullah Mason? Who should he be fighting next? How far could he go? What do you like about him? What don't you like about him? Let me know, guys, down below in the comments. Make sure to subscribe. Best boxing content on YouTube. I'm out, guys. Peace.